cloned his room key and let himself right into the room. When the Hilton security guard was unhelpful, Brennan called in Metro Police, who launched an investigation. They discovered the employee was actually the night manager, David Neal, and have issued a warrant for his arrest. And it turns out this isn't his only run-in with the law.
We found multiple crimes, felonies, prison time, court decisions.
Knowing that, Peter's attorney has filed a lawsuit against David Neal and Hilton Hotels in hopes they'll change some company policies.
Be very careful with who you give access to that has the ability to create guest key cards for any room in the hotel.
The Hilton Corporation referred us to a local manager, saying the downtown hotel is independently owned. That manager tells News Channel 5 they don't comment on ongoing investigations, but, quote, the safety and security of our guests and team members is our highest priority.
I still don't even feel safe in my own home.
As for Peter, this whole episode is still a nightmare he keeps reliving.
I'm having problems sleeping, frankly. Going through some PTSD, talking to a therapist.
Chris Davis, News Channel 5.
Get that PTSD.
Oh, I'd have it all.
Lawsuit Coach Reese is like, yeah, you got PTSD. Remember? No, you can't sleep. You haven't been sleeping at all.
I'd be like,
my eyes went crossed. I looked at here's one. You can't get boners no more. Yeah, I'd have all of that.
ruin my sex.
Poop yourself. You now poop yourself. Every time you see toes.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. You scream and poop like a little girl.
Yeah, because it's that Hilton one. But at the same time, Hilton, why did you hire the man
Background check.
That's
all
bad.
of
Hired him.
those crimes and jail time?
Is that where we are, though? That you just can't get anyone, so you have to just let that stuff
Give the guy a
slide?
chance to
Yes.
think, oh, you know, he'll turn it around.
Night manager?
No, he
no
sucks
one
toes.
really lining up to do that?
Okay, let's just say I'm in charge of hiring, and that guy walks in. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't have to read anything. I don't have to check anything.
They say never judge a book by its cover, but when
I've
when
judged.
the book is a freak.
Look at his younger photo, though. When
Oh, yeah.
that's even,
Oh, man.
there you go.
Looks like
I mean,
a Dahmer.
right?
Tight photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like a man who's gonna get up to no good. I feel like the toe sucking is just a start.
Or he's part of more. There's more.
Oh, he sucked more than toes. There's no about that.
Being a manager at a hotel is a very, like, kind of a big job.
I would assume so.
Hire anybody is
Pretty brave for that guy to do an interview, though. I think if some man sucked on my toes in my sleep, and then I woke up to it, there's no way I'm going to the news. There's no way I'm ever having them reveal my identity.
Here we have the face of the toe sucking victim. Right here, Mr. David.
Yeah, he's the face.
I actually didn't want to go on the news about this. I'm not sure how you found out about
You've
it.
been elected the leader of a toe-sucking victim group, and we've built a website, and you are on it.
No.
You are the voice of men across the country with soggy toes.
That's... Where's the key to the roof access?
Oh, no. Yeah, like, I get that a lawyer probably said to him, I know this is going to suck. No pun intended. But you have to get on the news and explain it so that we can get all that monies.
Well, even he was like, he was just referring to it as like the incident or whatever. He was like, yeah, the incident happened. And then the news reporter was like, somebody sexually assaulted his feet. Like right while his like head was on the camera.
Oh God.
No, that's. I mean, it'd be hard for anyone to admit that to the media, but as a man waking up to another man sucking on your toes,
I don't even know.
especially that man. Lord, your toes have been in that man's mouth.
There was a creepy guy on Lost that this guy kind of looks like.
Remember?
He had glasses. He was like. He actually gave him another show. I don't know what his name is, but it's just like it's creepy.
If you haven't seen this guy yet, if you go to DavidChurchFreak.com and scroll back a bit, you'll see him there. There's his mugshot that we put up there. He is right there.
Michael Emerson.
Oh, I've seen that guy before.
Yeah, he's still alive. He's a great actor, actually, but
Oh yeah, I remember him. Yeah, he does look like him.
looks kind of like him.
Yeah.
Not the man I'd want to be on my toes.
Well, I mean, there's a couple of men you'd be okay with, but not him.
Yeah. Like if Jason
No, that is
Momoa-
honestly, as a guy, that's your biggest violation of waking up to something like that.
Yeah, not toes, but
Well, I mean,
yeah,
something
any
like
kind
that,
of
right? Any
yes,
unwanted
to be
sexual-
awoken by something you're not interested in. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Any unwanted
no,
touching or sucking.
yeah, yeah, not good.
That guy probably has a pretty good case, I would think. Seems pretty cut and dry. Get some of that Hilton money. Even though Hilton says they don't run that hotel, their name's on it, right? At the end of
Yeah.
the day, they're responsible for it.
Yeah,
This is a crazy story. I mean, I know people do their OnlyFans things. They all make the news all the time. This guy, and they're reporting it as he had this experimental surgery to make his penis bigger. He now has a 14-inch penis. The story is that it's so big now, he can't even leave his house to get milk because people are constantly staring at him.
OnlyFans.com/
You can't
But
go
you
leave his
guys-
house to get milk.
When I looked at this is obviously fake.
Okay,
He obviously has a fake gigantic penis.
right.
But the news story is
But the
that he's
news
struggling to deal
The
with
news,
his...
so the news has fallen for it.
Yes,
The news is this dumb.
that he can't handle his giant wiener.
Stop it.
News. Well, I mean, it is the Daily Star. But still,
That's not news.
That's-
but, I mean, they don't normally just put
They put a
BS stuff out there.
Yes, they do.
Okay, Lisa, okay, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Let's be real.
Okay, I'm gonna be real here for a second.
Okay.
Yeah, so they can like fudge stuff, but to blatantly say this man had surgery and he has a 14-inch penis now that he can't live with, when it's obvious it's fake and BS.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, let's see. I want to see it still, but
Okay, so this is the story here. People constantly stare at my 14-inch penis. I can't even pop out for milk, right? He used to have manhood measuring 8 inches. He claims he underwent 2 experimental surgeries to bring his penis to a final measurement of 14 inches. And
I could get to like.
so there he is. There, his name is Mark Rock. He's 33. His wiener used to be 8 inches.
Rock, huh? Yeah.
Yep. 8 inches long, 5.5 inches in
The whole
girth.
thing's made up.
Yeah, but
The whole thing.
How is
This is a reputable news source.
Let's see it.
okay, my question is, how is anyone falling for this?
Well,
It is.
I think that they're just. I think people read that for entertainment, and I think it's just funny. Like I don't think it's on there.
Okay.
I mean, he's got his own. This guy.
Are you
is
ready
his
for
own-
this?
Yeah, I am. Because it's just.
It's a joke. It's just a joke. It's a thing.
I love it. It's erotic comedy.
It's silly. It's not funny.
See, but this is what I think the future of OnlyFans is. Like, I think the future of OnlyFans is going to be this weird mix of like people doing comedy, and you decide to give them money. You know, he's doing.
Just around the joke.
Yeah, he's really. I mean, he's got a bodysuit. He's got a full bodysuit on. You can tell his wrist is.
Everything's fake. His body.
Yeah, his body's fake. It's all the whole thing. He's done. Yeah.
Yeah, he puts it out there.
Yeah. The muscles are pretty big. James.
Okay, but what's wrong with you if you are paying to watch this guy with an obvious fake comic-sized penis?
Well, I think there are some
What's wrong
guys,
with
I
you?
guess, that are just returned.
Oh my Jesus.
That was fake. That was more than you bargained for.
Wow. One click too many.
I mean, I was
Okay,
one
so-
click away.
I know what you guys
Sexual
are saying.
humor.
The Daily Star, it's kind of BS. But even you guys, if that's my publication, if that's my website, we can't pretend this is real. We've got to say that it's an obvious fake.
I know. I think those days are gone.
They got
though. I
clicks.
think those days are gone.
I think in the Daily Star, they're like, let it roll.
Yeah, I think that those days are gone. And I do think that this guy, he got himself out there. I do think that there are some people that, there might be some guys that are into
other guys that, for some reasons, can suspend disbelief. Like, just
We don't even know what their
You don't know.
OnlyFans is, like what
No.
it's all about. We really don't know.
No, if it's like
Just
this,
if we're
that's
going off the Daily Star article, we really don't
Well,
know the facts.
Yeah, I mean, his Twitter, he has a Twitter, which is where these videos are coming
The
from.
fact that he looks like Sub-Zero with a huge hog.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I just realized, too, he doesn't have the muscle suit on there.
Nope.
He's got a bit of a gut.
Also, Dave, breaking news on the text line. Batboy has just been found in the New York City sewers.
Breaking news! Oh my God!
I guess what I'm saying is there's no such thing as journalism anymore.
No kidding!
There's no such thing as journalism.
How long have we been doing this show?
Dave and Chuck the Freak.
Silly.
Breaking news.
The Bat Boy has been discovered!
They found him, everybody. Relax. Gonna feed him plenty of bugs.
At the end of the grocery store trip, every time Dave's like looking at this, he's like, "Oh my God,
Yeah, he can't believe all the
the world
truth.
is crazy."
What Sasquatch is really getting married to an alien extraterrestrial?
Oh my God! Chuck was right. Oh,
Yeah.
fine.
Whew. I can't wrap my head around it.
I know.
How you can report
know.
this as something legitimate and it's obviously fake, but people fall for it.
Dave has a
Don't go to
higher
the Daily
standard.
Star anymore then if you don't want that.
Dave's a newsman.
It was Jason the Jew who was looking at this. Guy's big.
Oh, he threw him under the bus. Oh,
You know, Big AJ.
But yeah.
You know what?
yeah.
No more news out of you. You're on your own, bud.
And yeah.
Navigate it. Oh, you know who did this? Jason the Jew.
I mean, we have something from the Daily Star almost every day on the show.
No, we don't. We had a lot
They
of
have
stuff.
really good content on OnlyFans
Listen,
models.
what they
Yes.
generally feature is like, oh, how she got into this, what's she doing, what. This
They
was
do
just
have real stuff on there.
blatantly fake, and
Yeah.
I didn't understand how people could
I don't know.
believe it
I
was
don't
real.
know. It's silly.
Yeah. It's silly. It's okay, though. I'm going to keep using it.
Yeah, just keep using that. We get good stuff out of it.
No,
it's okay,
yeah.
Jason. You do a good job. Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa.
She feels bad for throwing you into the bus earlier about your garage door.
Well, you just threw me here, you know?
Yeah,
It's true. Everyone's throwing him.
I'm just gonna lay down at the gate. You guys can just back over me, you know? You're ramming into me.
Yeah.
You're flat as a pancake.
All right, coming up, what's up with the Asians next on Dave and Chuck the Freak? How did a guy in China learn the hard way to trust no one, help no one? Let's find out.
Are you okay there?
What's up with the Asians?
Can't find it.
Good go?
Do you see it?
Oh, we're bombing here.
It's gone.
Bomb.
It's not on the. It's not on.
You just have to do it
It's not on
without
the thing.
the intro. It's what's up with
There was an update on this, and it didn't make it back into the. No.
Dave, can you just read it without it?
Yeah,
Just need a little.
Yeah.
Just need a little something. I need a little something. Just a little.
You can't do it without it.
No, it's not there. Here, I got you, Dave. Here you go.
Today,
She's like, fake news. We're bombing.
Jesus, start up in here.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, we're back. We're back in it.
There's
It's time now for What's Up with the
We
Asians?
tell you all the time, trust no one, help no one.
Yes, we do.
Trust nothing.
Yeah.
Check out what happened to this guy in China. Q Yan. Working security, a local hospital. Report comes out. A girl had run up the hospital stairs because she wanted to try and kill herself by jumping off the 4th floor balcony. First responders aren't on the scene yet. The girl is ready to jump. Yan scrambles to improvise. He attempts to catch her. She's jumping from 4 stories up. He's down on the ground.
Oh, no. That's too...
The girl was injured, but okay. She left the hospital a couple of days later.
Wow.
Q Yan, though.
Yeah.
Man, she squished him
Yeah.
like nothing else.
Oh, boy. You can't do that.
Everything broken. Literally every part of him.
Oh, yeah.
Multiple fractures. Arms, legs, spine, chest.
Why?
A year later, He's still hospitalized. 1 year later.
I got you!
Oh my God.
I got you!
Oh no! No!
It doesn't look like they put them back together, right?
They have not.
Oh no. Oh, he is permanently buried.
Well, they can't rule that out.
Well, because he hasn't moved in a year. Oh, he's
there's a
crying and
report.
whatnot.
Here's a report.
He's crying and whatnot.
On Billy.
I'm sure we'll be able to understand it.
Yeah. What the hell happened? I fell a big fat lady fell on top of my head. I tried to catch a bigger fat woman. She jumped from a 4-story, but very, very big. Started going very fast. I missed her with the arms, and she landed on top of my head and crushed my entire body. I am very sad. I have not moved here for like a year. The food in here is terrible. The window I cannot see. They put my arms on backwards. My right arm is my left arm, and my left arm is my right arm. It sucks. I'm paralyzed. I should have just read her bounce off the grass, but I didn't. I was stupid. Don't do it. Don't be me. Save yourself.
Poor man. That is too bad. The security company he formerly worked for has refused to cover any expenses.
Sure.
Even though he was injured on the job. His family, of course, doesn't have enough money to even afford a lawyer. The family went to the girl who tried to kill herself. Her family doesn't have anything. There's no insurance to pay for his meds because he was let go from his job when he didn't show up to work.
So they're not even doing it.
Luckily, once this story aired, and you see
his state,
what rough shape he's in, millions of Chinese citizens have offered donations to help him out, as well as criticize the suicide girl for doing nothing, not even thanking him. She's never even thanked him for saving.
Oh, she's probably
Look at
mad.
the pain he's in over here.
Yeah, I saw them. He's really upset about it. And that's his brother. And that's his wife. Or mom, maybe.
只能默默流泪。他表示自己从未想要孩子家。孩子离受苦，他都觉得。
Somebody please kill me!
He's like the guy in the Metallica one video.
Darkness imprisoning me under thy sin. Absolute horror. I cannot live. I cannot die. Talking myself. Finding my holding cell. Landmine! Fat girl has taken my sight, taken my speech, taken my hearing, taken my arm, taken my legs, taken my soul. Wrap me right in hell.
I like this version better.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just a spectator, Dave.
Metallica 1's video is a man who was blown up by a bomb in the war, and all he can do, he's got no eyes, he can't hear, he's trapped, nothing. He's got no arms, no legs, and he just bobs his head up and down and all he says the whole time, kill me, and that is him. This is this guy. But that was an Asian rendition.
We wish him all the
the chorus.
We wish him all the best in his recovery.
We do. You do. Yeah. It's a weird one today.
It sure is.
I've taken a turn.
And those are my thoughts, not yours. I'm Dave Hunter on Dave and Chuck the Freak.
Two radio degenerates searching for ways to make society laugh in a world of wokeism dominated by the most powerful Karens known to mankind, armed with their one secret weapon, gong and fart jokes. Dave and Chuck the Freak.
On that lovely note, we'll take a break, and when we come back in a moment, how did many of us learn that we should not snoop through someone else's phone? We'll get to that. What crime did a dude get away with for over 50 years? And why have authorities in a Japanese city removed a street piano? All that and more is coming up next on Dave and Chuck the Freak.
Previously on Dave and Chuck the Freak.
I'm not sure how I'd react if I saw a unicorn running down the street. It actually did happen in California, kind of. Here's the story.
The horn on Juliet's head makes a child's dreams come true. She appears to be a real-life unicorn. People driving down Avenue 12 and called 911 with an unlikely story.
I want that pony, though.
I'm sure every little girl does. But I would love to have heard some of the 911 calls that came in.
911, what's your emergency?
Oh, listen up. There's a unicorn on the damn highway, baby.
Did you just say there's a unicorn?
Yeah, mythological creature. They're a little shorter than I thought, but they is real. It's got a horn and it's blocking traffic.
Have you taken any PCP today, sir?
Yeah, buddy. It's real. Oh, we gotta kill it and study it.
Is it leaving a rainbow trail?
No, it just pooped. But I didn't see if it was like a rainbow or not. To be honest, I was kind of far away. I don't know. I can't trust a unicorn. You trust a unicorn?
I don't think you can
Don't they
trust
have
them.
magic?
They are magical creatures. Yeah, we'll try to get some squad cars out.
The woman who owns the pony, they didn't give her a citation, but they said if the unicorn gets free again, they will, for sure.
It's Dave and Chuck the Freak.
Hi there. We're back here on Dave and Chuck the Freak, and coming up, what was a homeowner petrified to discover in her walls when she was unpacking? What did a Big Lots manager do on the job to get fired? And what crime did a dude get away with for over 50 years? That's all coming up. First, though, I do not want to die in a big hole.
No. Wouldn't be good.
Yeah, no. But for a small, tight one?
Authorities in coastal North Carolina are investigating the death of someone that came trapped in a hole that was dug in the sand.
People dig these holes in the sand like it's going to be like all fun and games, and every once in a while someone just gets completely... The sides cave in. It's sand.
Here's a quick update on this one from ABC 11.
Learned that a Virginia teenager died after getting trapped under several feet of sand off the North Carolina coast. This happened Saturday afternoon at a beach near Cape Hatteras, where authorities say the teen fell into a hole dug in a back dune area, an area not visible from the beachfront.
So I don't know, does it sound like he didn't dig it? He just fell into someone else's big hole?
Yeah, something happened.
I think that reporter needs to deliver bad news all the time.
Yeah,
he has such a cheerful, joyful voice.
Yeah, right. It's almost like he didn't realize what he was going to deliver, but he was like already up there.
The teen was just walking in a hole and he died tragically.
Oh, my God, he died.
Yes, he's dead. He's dead. He's gone for good. But
teenager buried under several feet of sand after an adjacent dune apparently collapsed into the hole.
Oh.
Rangers and other emergency responders worked with family members to rescue the teen while performing CPR. Efforts to revive the teen failed, though. They say they urge visitors not to dig deep holes on the beach due to the danger they present to beachgoers and emergency response staff.
Yeah.
That is a terrible way to go.
It is.
Oh, awful.
There's been several over the past couple of months. Same kind of thing. People dying in big sand holes.
Like when we were kids and this area used to get a ton of snow, we would do dumb stuff like this all the time. Like there'd be big giant snow mounds and we would tunnel into them, hollow the whole thing out and build like a fort in there, and we'd be in there all the time. No one would know we were in there.
Yeah,
just did that a couple years ago.
Yeah.
We're all right.
That's what I felt like we were
some
okay.
Deaths in there through the years.
I mean, thinking about it now, like these big giant mounds, like we had one where you literally had to climb out. It was probably like 10 feet high.
That's cool.
It was like all the snow from a giant parking lot got pushed up into one giant pile.
Like a neighborhood pile or
yes.
something? Yeah.
And I know if that thing came down on us, you were done. Going to be in big trouble.
I think I don't know if this is leading to this. There's this, you know how you're targeted on certain social media, so I get showed beaches a lot, right?
Yes, that's smart.
Right?
That's smart.
But there's this trend where people are digging holes to and then putting an umbrella on top.
Oh, yeah, I saw a guy like that.
Yes,
yeah.
make it a nice, cool place to lie on the beach. You dig a hole big enough for you to fit in.
Yeah.
And then you put your umbrella there, and you're totally...
It's a lot of work. It's a tremendous amount of work.
But I've seen different versions of that several times, so hopefully it's nothing like that's leading to this.
Well, like, think about it, right? Like, so I dig this big hole, I have a great day on the beach, and then I'm like, all right, I'm going home.
Leave. Yeah, you don't...
like, no one fills in their stuff. They just let the beach do it. And guess how it does it? By collapsing.
Yes. Well, there is a woman in Colorado who made a pretty scary discovery while she was unpacking. She discovered a surprise inside the walls of her family's new house. It's infested with snakes.
That's no good.
Here's that story now from KDVR TV.
Yeah, definitely pretty scary. Amber Hall and her 2 kids, they moved into this home just last month. And of course, it was supposed to be an exciting time. But shortly after, they made a horrifying discovery. There were snakes underneath the home and inside the walls. Now, if you are afraid of snakes, now might be a good time to look away.
There he goes, right in my house.
What started as an exciting time for Amber Hall and her kids
I worked my whole life to purchase a home.
Quickly turned into a nightmare.
About 2 weeks ago, I was unpacking in here, and one of my dogs kind of crouched down and started walking over to this corner really slow. So I was like, what is it, buddy? I thought it was maybe a spider or whatever. I came over, and as I came over, I saw the snake slither up the wall. So then I started watching, and there were more and more and more.
She found them behind the drywall.
Now he's going back in. Great.
Also under her patio, which she has since torn apart.
There are snakes laying on the patio.
So far, she's spent more than $1,000 on traps and professional help.
The snake wrangler that caught some snakes for me said that the snakes he caught looked to be about 2 to 3 years old. So he imagines that they've been here for a long time and that there's a lot more.
Hall says the listing agent isn't cooperating and didn't return our calls either. According to the Colorado Association of Realtors, the buyer could pursue litigation if they can demonstrate damages and proof the seller had actual knowledge of the condition.
I just want somebody to be responsible for whatever it takes to get them out.
But as long as the snakes remain, so do these packed boxes.
To be honest with you, I don't know if I can even live here peacefully because I'm petrified.
Pretty understandable that she feels that way. Hall tells me the next step is to get a hold of the contractor to find out if there was any knowledge of these snakes before she moved in.
There was definitely knowledge of those snakes.
Right.
That's why they sold it.
God, we got a snake infestation. We got to get the hell out of here.
Yes.
For sale.
Yeah. Got to go.
Wouldn't an inspection find that?
They should have, but a lot of those are BS.
I was going to say, because I know that.
Inside your walls and stuff. They just whatever they can see with the naked eye.
They look at the roof and
Yeah, because I had an inspector come in and I was like, what about, isn't this a little weird that this? And the guy was like, whatever. And then I had one of my friends who builds homes. And he's like, dude, what is this?
And you always have to have like friends look at it.
Yeah.
People that know.
I was like, I don't know. The inspector said, he's like, oh my God. Oh, well. I'm like, great. Perfect.
Yeah.
Something to get fixed.
Yeah, I'm sure some of them are okay, but again, they can only do surface stuff. And if snakes are crawling through the walls of this house,
There's no way they would know
and
that.
one doesn't come out while they're there,
Because she
they'll
need a
never
dog.
see it. Yeah.
Bring a dog around your house if you're thinking about buying it.
What a nightmare, though.
Yeah. That inspector thing is so like,
I just imagine them
shady.
going through
Yeah,
like
it
the
is.
walls, like tapping, like every. Like,
it was not. I followed this guy around the whole thing. He's like, you got a ladder? I'm like, yeah, hold on. Let me go in my garage and get one.
It's usually referred by the agent.
It's
and so
it's always the agent. So they're there just to make the sale.
Yeah.
Right.
So like just make sure it goes through.
Yeah.
Because this one thing, like clearly should not have, they should have had to fix it first. And the guy, when I brought it up, the guy was like, nah, that's fine. It's fine. Signed off on it all.
Inspector, I guess.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that a retail store manager would get fired for trying to save the stuff someone was stealing from the store, but that's kind of where we are now in some places. This woman says she lost her job at Big Lots as a manager when all she wanted was to get some carts back. Here's the update on that story from KGET TV.
You wouldn't think that a retail store manager would have to make a decision between recovering store property and keeping her job. But that's exactly what happened to a Big Lots manager here in Oildale. It was the afternoon of April 5th at the Big Lots store on Olive Drive, just east of the 99 freeway. A customer had loaded his shopping cart with 15 big orange jugs of Tide laundry detergent and headed straight out the door. 2 Big Lots managers followed him out, but not to try and detain him or even confront him. They just wanted to get their shopping cart back after he was finished with it. A week later, they were both out of jobs. Lily Oxford was the manager of the Big Lots furniture section.
For Christmas, we had just got 40 brand new carts. It's March, we're down to 5 carts. So we are instructed no carts are to leave that store whatsoever.
The cart's wheel locking mechanism kicked in just outside the front doors, and the alleged thief had to drag the cart. Oxford and the other manager, who had been trailing far behind, unintentionally caught up as he was loading the stolen bottles into what was apparently a getaway car. Oxford and the other manager took out their phones and from a distance started recording the scene. That spooked the alleged thief, who climbed out of the car and ran away. The getaway driver was apologetic.
And said, here, ma'am, take it all. And I'm thinking, oh, great, I'm getting all my stuff back.
By this time, the store employees had an appreciative audience.
I had people, at least 3 different people out here just applauding me because it happens so much. So many customers see it happen on a daily basis. At least 4 to 5 times a day, this happens.
Not everyone cheers on these small triumphs of justice. A week later, both managers were unemployed. Risk management consultant Mike Jeletich, who is not associated with either party in this case, said he sees both sides.
Some of these employees, they know what's right and what's wrong, and they feel, hey, this is wrong, and they think it's their, almost their duty to step up and not let this kind of crap happen. However, from the employer's standpoint, is flat out they do not want this employee injured, God forbid, killed.
17 News reached out to Big Lots corporate office 5 times in 8 days for comment on Big Lots' general policy regarding these matters, but received no response. Meanwhile, the terminated Big Lots manager, a single mom with 2 teens, has established a GoFundMe account. Google her. Pay Rent, organized by Lily Oxford. So while customers applaud some small semblance of justice, corporate America has other ideas about what its priorities are.
I just wonder if they've crunched the numbers on it all and they're like, you know what, so we have to eat the cost of a cart and 15 things of Tide, or we have to pay possibly someone's medical bills for the remainder of their life if they're shot, paralyzed. Like if they've crunched the numbers on that and they're like, that's why, we don't want you to do anything. Let them have it. Let them have it.
I know you feel for these people because they think they're doing the right thing, right? They do. And most of us, I think, would, in a situation like that, try and stop someone from stealing, even though it's not your store. But at the end, I guess you just have to realize if the store, if they don't give a damn about it, you can't give a damn about it. No. Right?
No.
And especially in California, it's bananas there.
I mean, I understand. I work at Big Lots and I'm a manager there, but they're not my carts. Yeah. At the end of the day, they're not my carts. You guys got to do a better job of figuring out how we can't get these out of the store. It's almost like they need to put
those locks on there that locks after you get it so far away from a sensor.
Well, that's what they had.
Well, and that's what they had. They had the wheel locks, but the guy just dragged it. But the thing is, he just dragged it to a car and unloaded it. If they would have just waited, the guy would have drove away, and then they could go get the cart.
That guy really needed to do laundry.
It's got a lot of dirty clothes.
Yeah.
A lot of them. Yeah, I feel for the woman, but it's not your money. It's not your store.
I'd love to see the full videos of everybody, and because I think that I believe it was probably a video making.
So do you think her GoFundMe goes well?
No, I bet if we looked it up, it would have been.
I hope it's not more than the baby saving guy.
It will be, it will be.
They actually got on the news.
Yeah, it's gonna be, isn't it? That's normal.
Let's see here.
Oh yeah, right there.
Let's see, the link is in.
Oh my God, so much more.
Yeah, more than the baby.
It's 3 months worth of dishwashing salary.
That's how many babies could she save with that money?
If
quite a few.
What did he had? He had less than 5.
Yeah, so 8 or 9 babies saved.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got $4,300 already for her GoFundMe. I mean, not a ton, but a lot more than the guy that saved a baby.
That's just crazy. That's just crazy.
She saved some tide.
Yeah.
She saved some tide.
God. Didn't even.
No,
they
she did.
did. They did get the tide back. They got the tide back.
Because his getaway driver was like, oh, I don't want to take it.
What about the
Tide
other
versus
manager?
baby. I
Yeah,
mean,
the news place failed that guy.
It did. They really did.
Yeah,
They did because
they should have absolutely had that in their story instead of just telling people to. Well, they didn't even tell people to Google it. They just didn't include it. But there was none set up at that point.
Right.
So the Biden administration wants airlines to offer compensation for passengers who've been affected by delays and cancellations. What will that mean? Let's get that story now from Fox 5.
Good evening. You ever had a flight canceled sitting in a chair like this one, crossing your legs, looking at social media? It truly is the worst. It's frustrating. Well, we talked to some passengers here at Reagan National, and they tell me that the Biden administration is offering them some relief. The new regulations require airlines to compensate passengers with not only a ticket, but meals and hotels if they are stranded for reasons within the airline's control. Right now, when an airline cancels a flight for any reason, you can demand a refund, but in many cases, most often, airlines may try to persuade people to accept a travel voucher or instead of a refund. The president says the current travel system leaves passengers absorbing the extra cost of a canceled flight. Some passengers want the airlines to also compensate when a flight is canceled due to bad weather.
It's frustrating. Weather obviously should incur the same amount of reimbursement as the airline.
I feel that it's the airline's responsibility to accommodate the guests.
Now, cancellations that are within the airline's control are for such things as shortage of crews or mechanical issues. So the next time you come to the airport, you put your bags on a cart like this and you have to go back to your car, just know that you could receive a refund from the airline.
But all they'll do is they'll say it was weather, right? They'll
That's what they do all the time.
They've already been doing that, right?
That's what
Weather
they do.
issues.
There's no weather issues.
Yeah.
There's nothing around any of the routes they're flying.
I think there was a day when a ton of stuff got canceled, and then they showed like the weather map of the United States, and there was basically not a cloud in the sky. And it was like,
Amber was flying with her mom recently, and they canceled their flight back.
Oh, wow.
And they said it was due to weather. Again, there was no weather. But I did push, and I'm like, you can't just cancel and they were like, you weren't giving a refund, they were just going to get a credit. No, you canceled. You canceled their flight, so you have to. So they ended up giving them a refund, but also then said if they had they sent an email saying if they stayed in a hotel and if they have receipts for meals and all this, that they could submit that.
Wow. That's not.
But you had to fight to get it. You had to fight to get it.
Yeah.
Right? They weren't just. It was just an e-credit they issued immediately, and no, it didn't rebook them or
What a
anything.
hassle, though. I'd rather just get on my plane and go.
I know.
You know?
Just let me go home.
Oh yeah, no one wants to have to stay an extra day. Most people don't anyway. This airline pilot is being called a hero, not for safely landing a plane, but for putting an entitled passenger in her place. Now, after a flight lands, passengers are reminded to stay seated until the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign. But some people, of course, don't play by the rules, as we've seen on flights. Some people are just so anxious to get off. Well, there was a flight recently, a JetBlue flight, where a female passenger was seated all the way in the back. As soon as the plane touched down, she unbuckled and walked all the way to the front of the plane.
I've seen it happen.
To get off
Really?
first.
I've never
They were
seen that
still
happen.
The beeline? Oh, yeah.
still taxiing on the runway.
No, I've never seen
They
that
were
in a
saying,
taxi.
everyone please take your seat. Everyone please take your seat.
Oh, wow.
She ignored all the commands. When the plane finally pulled to the gate, the pilot got on the PA and announced, we have a special guest on board, and I'm going to come out and greet them. He exited the cockpit and asked the woman if she could just step a few feet back so he could get to the row that special guest was sitting in. He kept moving her back, row by row by row, until he finally returned her to her seat at the back of the plane. He asked her to sit for a second while he got on the PA and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, our special guest sitting right here in seat 42C thinks she's better than everyone.
Oh, wow.
Let's give her a round of applause."
Good for him.
Yeah.
The plane erupted in laughter and applauded the pilot, and she was the last person then to get on that flight.
That's awesome.
And he probably lost his job.
Yeah, I was going to say, unfortunately,
hopefully not.
Hopefully
but
not.
No, they
There's
can't
no-
fire a pilot. They're not going to fire a
No,
pilot
they need
for
more
that.
pilots right now.
No, but I've definitely, you know, when like everyone takes their seatbelt off. So not like when you first land, but as soon as you stop and you're at the gate and it's like boop, and then like,
Yeah,
everybody
then,
goes.
but-
I've seen the guy like boop and run from
Yeah,
the
there's
back
that.
up, and it's like because they've got no luggage, they've got no carry-on, they just.
I
go.
always assume they have like a connecting or something, and they're.
I hope.
You know, I try to
Well,
assume the best.
Yes, I just
don't
assume
see it
they're
often.
a prick.
That's a good way to assume that.
Yeah,
because I don't think of it
And
that
I
way.
never think of it that way. I just am always like, there's always that person that's like frantically trying to get their luggage down.
Yeah.
And you're like, chill out. Nobody's going anywhere for like an hour.
We're all in the same, we're all in the same place.
If you ever see me do that, it's because I'm about to poop my pants.
Uh-oh, let James go, let him go.
It's an emergency, I promise you.
As I said, on one of my last flights, they did make an announcement saying, listen, we have 7 guests on this flight. The flight was delayed, and they are really tight for their connections. If everyone would please remain seated until they can get up, get their luggage, and get off,
right,
they would really appreciate it. And everyone did. Once the last person walked off, the flight attendant said, "Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Everyone please can now
that's nice. Cool.
exit the plane." That's how to do it, I think. And then these days of online banking and mobile banking apps, you would assume that few people actually go into a bank, or maybe just older people still use the brick and mortar banks. Well, I guess we're wrong. A new poll found that 83% of Americans across all generations say they prefer using a physical bank when dealing with their money these days. 36% of those surveyed say they only use physical banks. That includes 40% of Gen Z and 34% of boomers. Only 10% say they only do digital banking. Of those who prefer to go to the bank, 60% say it's because they believe their transactions will be handled correctly. And 51% still like a little human interaction with their banking.
Yeah, I haven't. After I got divorced and got my new place, I had to go to the bank one time, and then I haven't been back.
Yeah, I never go.
I just never go in there.
You have to unless they make you for something.
I have to go to the bank every once in a while.
Yeah,
I do, and it is always busy. Like, I never just walk up to a teller.
Wow. See, I went in there and it was like,
no one's there.
No one's around.
I was like, hello?
They have less and less people working at the banks now.
Oh yeah,
maybe that's
it's like one person, I think.
When you got a good scam going on, there's nothing that'll ruin it quite like feeling like the need to brag about it, especially on social media. In the UK, a 69-year-old guy had been driving for over 50 years with no license. And he totally had gotten away with it to the point where he'd even convinced insurance companies that he was legit. He was an insured driver with no license. Then came the bragging. He talked about it on his Facebook page.
Uh-oh.
Cops made a point to catch up to him, and they've ended his reign. They've confiscated his vehicle, and they've served him with a ton of citations.
Why are they so dumb all the time and go to Facebook?
Because
you just
you're
can't
69. That's all you've got to do, right? I've been driving for 50 years.
I'll tell you what I do. Oh my God. Thank God the price is not on Facebook.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing.
Oh.
I wish my dad was. Trust me on that.
Yeah.
We'll take a break, and when we come back in just a moment, why did a guy keep his dad in the freezer? How did a North Carolina man stop a bear from attacking his dog? And Florida's effed up, still to come on Dave and Chuck the Freak.
Previously on Dave and Chuck the Freak.
A new study gives those of us who cannot stand daylight saving time daylight saving.
Isn't that what everyone says?
Yeah, they do say savings, but it's saving. This study titled Permanent Daylight Saving Time results in fewer car accidents with animals. Making daylight saving permanent would reduce car accidents by having humans responding to the daylight time just like animals instead of responding to the clock time. The study also estimated that humans would kill 37,000 less deer in car accidents. What a weird statistic. I know.
Yeah.
They have an animal clock. They're just like humans. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
With your clocks in here.
I think they found out one day and they were like, do you hear these humans? They turn their clocks back. It's springtime.
or spring forward. I don't know which one it is. Call it daylight savings time.
No, it's just daylight saving time.
Oh, that's what I hear.
I'm gonna cross the street now. What? Oh, God. Saving time is horrible.
The humans can't see.
They've got lights on whatever kind of mystical vehicle they're infused in their murder machines. They don't know what time it is.
It's Dave and Chuck the Freak.
Hi there. As we continue now on Dave and Chuck the Freak, coming up, how did a North Carolina man stop a bear from attacking his dog? When do people stop feeling young? And Florida's effed up on the way. Checking in with the morning report. I'm Dave Hunter. It is time now for a check of the news. We'll get started here.
Warning, Dave and Chuck the Freak are going dark-sided.
Police in Amsterdam have found the body of a man in a freezer. He had been put there by his 82-year-old son.
That was tough. It was hard to get him in there.
Because he didn't want to lose his dad 18 months ago.
I couldn't find him for a minute, so I put him in there. Was he alive when I put him in there, though?
No, he died of natural causes.
Put him in there alive?
At the age of 101.
Did I put him in? Okay.
He was dead. Yep. The discovery was made in the town of Landgraf.
That's the real question.
The 82-year-old son said, I didn't want to let him go because I knew I would miss him. So he placed his dad in the freezer.
Hey, Dad.
So he could continue to talk to him.
What's up, Dad?
Oh, no.
Yep, just stay in there.
Corpse gurgles.
Yeah. Just a thawing process. Slight thawing. Oh, you're thawing! Every time I open it, it breathes. Oh, my Lord. I see his breath.
The warning happened, I guess the family doctor raised a warning. He hadn't seen the dad in so long and was worried about the 101-year-old's health, right?
Yeah. Don't you feel like, I just know my parents, they're at something like once every other week, it seems like. Yep, appointment, got an appointment, got this, got that.
Yeah.
So, like, not seeing someone who's 101, you know, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay.
Local officials who visited the house described it as a mess. They've given the son a week to clean it up.
They had a long run as father and son.
They really did.
Really did.
82 and 101. And why are they just together? What's happened to everyone else in their lives? Like, you know what I mean? It'd just be like you are 80, Chuck, and you're living with the Bryster.
Yeah.
Who's 100.
Everybody else is gone. Well, we're pretty ornery. I think by the time I'm 82 and he's 101, he's still trying to fight people. Now I'm trying to fight people.
Yeah, you're both on testosterone.
Yeah, we're all things are.
Are you rubbed in? I'm rubbed in. Yeah.
You guys rub it on each other.
I feel great. Are you good?
They're now trying to establish how the dad died and when and whether or not fraud was involved.
Yeah. As long as he was gone before the freezer, things are better. Not great, but better.
Then you just feel sad. It makes me
so sad. It's so sad.
I want to keep my dad in the freezer just so I'll have someone to talk to.
If that's all it is, unless like a check was rolling in.
Yeah.
Usually the check's rolling.
Usually it's about money.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, but hopefully that's not the case here. Well, dogs, you know, we do anything for our dogs. Most dog owners, right? Including take on a bear, which is what a guy in Hendersonville, North Carolina recently had to do. Here's his story of what he did during this bear attack from WLOS TV. Let's take a listen into their report.
Dogs in there. For more than 30 years, John Kerber has called Hendersonville home. He's had his property, yet nothing can prepare him and his Yorkie for an encounter with Western North Carolina's largest animal. They say...
Stop it. The wanted kind of. Yeah. Like me.
variegated. Yes, okay, all right. It seems that way. Back to the story.
They say courage comes in all shapes and sizes.
He's my best buddy, aren't you, Chubby?
6-year-old Chubby, short for Chewbacca, is living proof of that. Last Wednesday started normal for Chubby and his owner, John Kirby.
When we come out here, he peed on the flowers here, came down here, and I stood here.
That's when the morning routine took a turn.
I just hear a deep guttural, very deep. I hear like thumping and them running and cracking branches.
Before they knew it, they were face to face with a large bear.
So that thing just came out of nowhere, unprovoked. He wasn't doing anything but looking for a place to poop.
Kerber says that's when he kicked into Papa Bear mode, hitting the bear with a walking stick while making his way back to the house.
Now this bear is right here and threatening to get up on the porch. So I whap his leg, whap his head, whap his nose.
While trying to make a break to get inside, little Chubby mustered the courage to fend off the bear.
And the bear made one more lunge to him, and I just let out the deepest, howl of no. And he just backed up enough so that I just took the dog.
The bond of man's best friend prevailing.
It was a hair-raising experience, trust me. Little Tubester, so he means the world to us. He's a good little guy.
Now, bear encounters in western North Carolina happen frequently. Just check out this bear scare from North Asheville. Despite the scary moment, Kerber says he has nothing but love for the bear population.
But I would say with the bear is, hey, just keep your distance, please. We are friends. We don't intend to hurt anybody. Leave us alone.
Kerber says he has since purchased an air horn as well as bear spray just in case of another incident. As for the courageous little Chubby, he's back making further checks.
What do you expect when you live out in the woods in a cabin-looking place?
Yeah.
He acted like he was stunned, like, what's a bear doing here?
Yeah, it's like, oh, I don't know, you live in the forest.
Yes.
You live in the forest,
They don't
man.
know to keep their distance.
Yeah.
You're walking a little snack on a leash.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, just now he's getting horns and things.
I just feel the whole time. I just feel like he looks like a future me.
Like Andy who lives in the woods with a small dog.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, it's kind of scary that I'm just going to be alone with a dog.
Don't speak to the news.
Yep.
Don't speak to the news. But he is lucky that it could have been much worse for both of them, but especially little.
I wouldn't expect you to see a bear in the woods.
Yeah.
You should expect every time you go out into the woods.
Yes.
We all spend a ton of money on stuff to make our home smell good. Candles, air fresheners, essential oils. But all we need, apparently, is buckets and buckets of bleach. In a new survey, people were asked their favorite scent they enjoy at home. Bleach came out near the top.
I love that clean smell.
Yeah, it just means everything's very clean.
It's just that clean smell.
The scent of cleaning and sanitizing products like chlorine bleach.
Yeah.
Came out near the top. Also anything floral, flowers, potpourri, stuff like that. 13% preferred citrus. 13% say woodsy or natural. And 11% say baked goods is what they love to smell at home.
Yeah.
66% of people believe they'd be able to recognize the unique scent of their own home, for better or worse. Our house smells great unless you walk into one of our teenagers' rooms. And then look the hell out.
Yeah, I've discovered the Rowan has sliding drawers that there's shelves and then there's doors that shut. I was like, boy, it smells in here. I'm like, I don't know what this is. Slide it open. Bowl of cereal.
Oh my God.
Bowl of cereal. As green gets. You just put it on a shelf and close the door. That's how you were going to handle this situation?
Was he eating the color-changing Lucky Charms?
He was not.
Oh, no.
They didn't have them yet.
We just had this discussion with Aiden yesterday. I'm like, dude, when was the last time you washed your sheets? He's like, oh, Dad, it wasn't that long ago. I'm like, yeah, 2-3 months. I'm like, yeah. Yep. You know what they went? Eating the garbage.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's no recovering some.
I am buying him new sheets.
Yeah. Yep.
Teenagers.
It's good times.
It is. We'll take a break. When we come back in just a moment, there's more to come here on Dave and Chuck the Freak, including Florida's Effed Up. After this. Back here with you. As we continue, you can get the perfect amount of foam in your beer by tilting your glass just a little, but obviously that's too much work for some people. So a design firm in Japan came up with a solution. They've unveiled a new beer can with 2 pull tabs instead of 1. It is supposed to give you the perfect beer to foam ratio because of the angle they're staggered at. You pull the one on the left first to open the can partway, then you pour half of your beer straight into the center of the glass. That leaves you with mostly foam. Then you pull the second tab, and you pour the rest of the beer in, and you end up with a 7-to-3 beer to foam ratio, which is considered the perfect pour.
What happens if you do the 2 before the
Then
1?
you totally mess it up. Totally mess it up.
The more beers people have, the
It's more
likelihood they're-
confusing. It's all foam. You care less. The more you have, the less you care.
They got directions
Yeah.
on the beer.
Is it 1 or 2?
Which comes before
Got
2?
this, Bud Light. Is it 1 or 2?
They say there are 2 main things that cause too much foam when pouring beer out of a can. There's a drop in air pressure inside the can when you open it, and as you pour, the way the beer connects with the opening of the can matters. Their new double pull tab addresses both those things. Doesn't sound like there's any major beer brands jumping on board to switch to a double tab yet, so right now it's just a concept thing.
Can't we all figure this out?
I don't know.
I was slightly tilted glass.
Slightly tilted. That's all you have to do. You just tilt it a bit.
Like, okay, let's see. There you go. 2 and 1. Damn it.
This is 1 or 2. Yeah. Doesn't seem that hard.
No.
In some music news this morning, say goodbye to one of the 90s biggest bands. Sum 41 is breaking up after they release their next album and celebrate with a, quote, worldwide headlining tour.
So in 5 years, they're going to break up.
Yeah. The band issued a statement saying, being in Sum 41 since 1996 brought us some of the best moments in our lives. We are forever grateful to our fans, both old and new, who have supported us along the way. It's hard to articulate the love and respect we have for you all. We just wanted you to hear this from us first. The next album is called Heaven and Hell. It's a double album. No word on a release date yet. No word yet on dates for their farewell tour. They're currently on the Let the Bad Times Roll tour with the Offspring and Simple Plan that's headed out later this summer.
It's kind of a bummer for me. This was a big band when I got out of high school. But I thought they had broke up a long time ago. I thought it was just like the singer and like the bass player were touring.
Yeah, I don't know.
I did not keep up with my Sum 41.
Yeah. So, you know, after so much time, they fell off for me. So
He's the dude that was married to Avril Lavigne, right?
Correct.
Yes. The lead singer of Sum 41, Derek. I just know they were one of those douchebag bands I had to work with once that requested a million things. Yeah, like 100 pairs of socks and all sorts of different types of booze and candy. And
I think I assigned some hate to them because they were really a signal to me that music had changed. Like, you know, we used to work at an alternative station and we were playing like, you know, it was kind of like one certain style of music, and then
from the grunge to the
then like Blink came out, and when Blink came out, then all of a sudden all these other bands that sounded they were trying to sound like Blink,
like the pop punk sound.
It really took over, and because I remember like liking Blink and then being like, oh my god, we're playing everything that sounds like them, and half of it was so garbage, and so I assigned some like dislike, and also they were Canadian, which meant we had to play more of it than anything else in it, so it really was like you heard it all the time. Boy. And then they were douches.
Well, that just was the icing on the cake. Just about all of us want to find romantic love any way we can, and rock stars are no different. Just look at Disturbed frontman David Draymond, who has revealed that he's on Tinder in the hopes of finding some new love.
Yeah, I matched with him.
This is after his recent divorce.
Oh, God, that's so sad. Imagine I did like some kind of press release and said that I got divorced, and so, hey, look for me on Tinder.
Well, you know what happened? He didn't really mean to put it out there himself. Someone found him and tagged him and said, oh my God, did you see this dude? I'm tagging you in this fake Twitter account.
When you're discovered
Or not
like
Twitter,
that,
fake, what's it?
Tinder account. When that happens, you just say, thank you for the heads up, and then you cancel it instantly.
He responded and said, not fake, LOL, that's me. You'd be surprised. It's hard for a guy like me to meet the right woman. I'll tell you, it's been very weird so far, trying to figure out how to navigate this.
He even put a photo with his dog. Really trying to sell it.
He did all. I mean, he's the front man of Disturbed. Couldn't he just walk outside and get laid?
Apparently
Wants
not.
true love, Dave.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
you're not going to find it on
Yeah, that's the wrong place to
Tinder?
look for it. What if he makes that noise in that one song when he fails? Yeah.
That's
Depends on who he's looking for, I guess. Like what?
I don't know.
It says he's open to exploring. He's a Pisces, bachelor's.
Oh, open to exploring. You know what that means?
Yeah.
What stuff?
It's ready to be pegged.
How to beg.
Yeah, I mean, it is, it's
How would that
wild.
guy have seen him on Tinder, though?
say bachelor.
He's got his. What's that mean? He's got his bachelor's degree.
I hope so.
Yeah, he's not looking for bachelors.
Sure. Maybe it's code.
No.
My
Maybe
guess
a woman
is,
saw it and showed him.
yeah, it must have been. Oh, man. He just put it out there, huh?
Yeah, he definitely did. Well, he's letting people know. Like, at least he's being honest.
I don't know. I'd be like, that son of a... There's a way to handle it.
If someone tagged you in a Tinder profile that was yours,
Yes.
you would say, "Oh my God, who's created
Exactly.
this?"
I would be like,
Yeah,
oh my,
it should-
thank you so much for the heads up that I go into Tinder, delete account.
Definitely. You don't admit to that.
You're like, James is catfishing people with my
Well,
pictures again.
Especially I'm like a rock star. I'm a
Yeah.
rock star. This is the last thing I need. Hey, oh, you want to meet a girl? Go play in a bar.
Right. Hang outside one of your
Yeah, it should
shows.
be easy, right?
Hey, can I, do you mind, hi, I'm the lead singer of Disturbed. Do you mind if I play like just on a stool on a Saturday night in this big giant rock and roll bar? Oh, I can? Okay,
Maybe that's
perfect.
not the type of women he's looking for, but
I
on
guess.
Tinder, there's not a big...
The thing is, I mean, like, I don't know what you're looking for. To me, if you're the lead singer of Disturbed, you probably at least want to have someone who enjoys rock and gets it. He's going to have to meet someone who understands that he's a lead singer of
Well,
a
that's
band.
what he puts it in his profile. Proud
Yeah.
father, frontman of Disturbed. I believe with all my heart in the healing, redeeming, and therapeutic power of music and the connection it creates between all people.
Right. So, like, they're going to have a music. But I could also see him, for instance, if I was out there and someone was like, I'm the biggest fan of your show, I'd rather hear, I hate your show, or
It also-
I don't know it.
It also depends on the age group he's looking for, because they might not be aware of the band.
Well, I'll tell you
If he
this
goes a
right
little
now.
younger.
He's saying he's 50, okay? Which means that no one under probably 40 is even seeing his thing.
Oh, right, because they wouldn't have
you
put that
choose,
in.
you
Yes.
choose the age limit that you'll go to, you know? So...
Right, so women looking for guys on Tinder, if they have 20 to 30, he'll never appear.
He'll never
in there.
appear to them. No.
But maybe he doesn't want that. Maybe he wants
No,
someone
and
his
why
age.
would you? I mean, he's probably had his fill of
Yeah, that's what I think.
all that. He's had his fill of
Oh my goodness. He's had more vagina than I could ever
Yeah,
imagine,
like it's
right?
not even...
we can ever imagine.
Yeah,
So
it's
he's
not
looking for
even...
something
He's looking for
different.
more, 'cause
Yeah.
he's on
Well,
Tinder.
yeah, but vagina that'll stick around.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
He's not
Tinder
full up
might
yet.
not be the place.
Yeah, he's still squeezing the last bit of gas into the tank.
Yeah, maybe he is. Well, we wish him luck. We'll take a break. When we come back, what new trouble did a Florida man get up to in South Carolina? We'll find out after this.
Dave and Chuck the Freak. Man, Florida's effed up.
Florida man can't stop being Florida man. No matter where he is in the country. Suspect is in jail after witnesses told police they saw him dancing naked in a median in North Charleston, South Carolina. 34-year-old Dante Gauthier of Tallahassee, Florida, who was vacationing in the area, decided to dance nude in the streets.
Yeah, they probably just have a code for that where they're just like, that's just a vacationing Floridian.
Yeah, they know. And we got a code 67. I got a code 67. He is now charged with 1 count of indecent exposure about 3:20 in the afternoon, so not in the middle of the night or anything. Officers responded to the area of Dorchester Road and Purcell Drive for the reports of a man dancing nude in the streets. They found him nearby. He was at a gas station. When he saw the cops, he pulled some shorts on and then started to roll on the ground and tried to break dance.
Pretty cool. That's a pretty cool show.
I don't know. Employees at the gas station told police they saw the guy dancing naked in the median. They yelled at him to get out of the road and put some clothes on. Still naked, though, he walked into the store. They say he only put on shorts when he saw the cops pull up.
Which is funny because you'd think if you were just so out of it, like you're nude because you're out of it, that when the cops showed up, there'd be no change. But he saw the cops and was like, oh, I should put some shorts on, which means to me,
he knew.
You know what you're doing, at least a little bit.
He was transported to the hospital, later taken, and admitted he had taken CBD earlier in the day.
It's not going to do it.
I think that's going to make you get nude in the median.
Not going to do it.
After being medically cleared, then he was taken to a nearby detention center. He remains in custody, waiting for someone to post his $20,000 bond. Maybe waiting.
It's not going to.
Or it has to get back to Florida.
Yeah, exactly.
Then, Dante's nude again.
Oh, boy.
You have to do a lot more naked dancing to get the money for that.
Yeah, you're right. Yep. Nude breakdancing.
Yes.
Good luck with that. And that's going to do it for us here on this Tuesday. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you next time on Dave and Chuck the Freak.
I think everyone should say penis so we can take away the negative power of the word. Yeah? So everybody?
Penis.
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 Penis. Thank you for listening to Dave and Chuck the Freak.